if you watch the news now, you see it constantly. Donald Trump's campaign slogan is "Make America Great Again," taken from Reagan when he ran to make America great again. So the question stands: does America need to be great again? I personally don't really like getting into a lot of politics with people, just because people are very strong in their beliefs and things like that. So um, instead of taking the political stance on it, we're going to take a little more of a personal stance on it. And I think, yes, America does need to be great again. We're failing in so many aspects in um, poverty, the hungry, unemployment, um, deaths each year for certain reasons, and teen pregnancies, and our they're all really high, and so each area has more than enough room to grow. According to a feedingamerica.org, in 2014, 4.6 million people lived in poverty, which is 14.8% of the United States, and 15.5 million of the children under 18 were in poverty. So that's 21.1% of our children. That's a scary number. I mean, 21% of children live in poverty, when almost 15% of people live in poverty. And along with that poverty level comes hunger. That's huge. There are so many children that they don't have a meal coming for them. They have no idea when their next meal is going to come. I know in Grable, where I live, we do empty bowls, and it's a fundraiser every year for our food bank here in town. And one of our statistics was that over 50% of the students enrolled in the elementary, the middle school, and the high school receive free or reduced lunch, which to me, that's a lot. That's a lot. We live in a really poor community with those numbers. So, and I can't imagine, we're one of those families. We are a one-income family with 3 children, and I go to school, and my husband works, and we barely get by. We're lucky enough that we don't have the problem of worrying about where our meal comes next, but there are a lot of kids that do, and I think we need to fix that as a country and as a world in general. We need to fix that. It's not, studies have shown that kids that don't have proper nutrition, they don't grow properly, they can't learn properly in school, their whole life is just messed up from the beginning. They can't concentrate in school because they're worried about being hungry. They can't, their brains don't remember things as well because they're fighting to just be alive. Their bodies aren't getting what they need. And we really need to fix that as a country. We need to make that better, where we can fix the poverty level, and we can especially fix the hunger level and the food insecurity level in our country. According to Statista.com, as of right now, our unemployment rate is 6.15%. So 6% of people are out of work, which doesn't, I guess 6 is kind of a low number, but that's a lot of people that don't have jobs right now. If you live in Wyoming, you're very familiar. A lot of people have lost their jobs in the last few years with the oil field. I know a lot of families that, our family, my father-in-law, he lost his job. He hasn't been able to get back out onto the oil field for over a year. My best friend, her husband lost his job, and they took a huge pay cut, and now with the coal mines and everything, there are so many people out of work. And the longer they're out of work, unemployment can only help them for so long before they have to find another option. And sometimes people can't find jobs. They're overqualified or they're underqualified. For a starting position, they want experience, and you can't get experience until you get this position, but they're not going to hire you because you need this position. It's a huge problem that people don't have jobs. Some of those numbers, are people who don't want jobs, but a lot of them aren't. So it's scary to think that, and from the same site, they also said that 6.85 million Americans were either on probation, parole, or incarcerated in 2014. That is a huge number. I don't even know what to say to that other than we need to find some way to deal with the problems of criminals and the law breaking, and whether we decriminalize some things. A lot of those are marijuana charges, and whether we decriminalize that, and that, like Colorado and a few other states have done, that would fix some of that, but it's not going to fix all of it, and that is a lot of money going into prison systems, and that's taking away from other systems, and we need to find a way to fix that too. According to USALiveStats.com, almost 4,800 homicides have occurred this year. Almost 11,500 suicides have occurred this year, and almost 367,700 abortions have occurred this year. I received that number the 20th of April. So this site keeps counting it, and it keeps continuing to go up. But that is another ridiculous. Those are such large numbers. We are not even complete with the 4th month of this year, and over 11,000 people have taken their own lives. Almost 5,000 people have lost their lives to somebody else, and that doesn't include overdoses. It doesn't include car accidents or anything like that. That's strictly murders, suicides, and abortions. All of those numbers, and that's a lot. We're losing out on so many people. There's another problem. There are so many problems that we're having. HHS.gov said that in 2014, 24.2 births occurred for every 1,000 15 to 19-year-old girls. 17% of those births were repeat teen pregnancies. And along with that, DoSomething.org said that more than 50% of teen moms never graduate from high school. Less than 2% of them earn a college degree by 30. And the United States has one of the highest teen pregnancy rates in the Western industrialized world. Again, teen pregnancy is a problem. I'm a teen mom. I got pregnant at 18, right after I graduated high school, so I got to graduate, but I know my niece, she's 17, and she just had a baby, and she's struggling hard. Life is not good for her right now. She's a great mom, but she's so unsure about her future for herself and her child. And I'm going to make another statistic on that. I am going to school now, but I won't finish my degree by the time I'm 30. I will be almost 35 when I finally finish my bachelor's, unless I start going closer to full time. But that's a huge problem. I mean, these kids are growing up so fast, and they're not being kids, and then they're bringing babies into the world that they can't raise, and they're living in poverty, and they're increasing the hunger levels, and they're increasing the incarceration levels, and they're increasing all these things. And I'm not saying all teen moms that happens to. It's not. But if you look at the statistics of things, teen moms create babies that meet statistics more times than not. A lot of teen moms, the dads walk out, and more than often than not, a man that is incarcerated did not have a father growing up, and that's exactly where that comes from a lot of the times, is teen pregnancies and things like that. So after looking through all of these statistics, I definitely feel like America needs to be great again. We need to get back to not like in 1950s, housewife women have to stay home and make babies and things like that. I'm not saying to be extreme like that, but I am saying we should get back to a lot of those morals. We should get back to men raise their babies. You follow the law. You help your neighbor. You help yourself. You work towards a better life, and you do all these things. And I think if we could turn our country around and really find a good work ethic and a moral compass again, I think we could make America great again.